This is Chapter 8, Part 2. We want to find the strength of a 500 milliliter solution that contains 50 milliliters of iodine. Okay, remember, strength is the amount of the drug over the amount of the solution. Now you can think of this as actually mixing these together. What this is saying is once I've mixed it all up, the amount of fluid I need to end up with is 500 milliliters. I know that 50 milliliters of this is the actual drug. Okay, so what we do is we take the amount of the drug, which was 50 milliliters, and then we divided that by the amount of the solution, which is right here. Notice our units canceled. We have 50 over 500, which is the same as 1/10. So the strength written as a ratio is 1 to 10, or 1/10 strength as a fraction, or you do the division. 1 divided by 10 is 1 divided by 10 gives you 0.1, and then multiply that by 100 and you get 10. So it is 10%. Okay, so let's find the strength of a 200 milliliter solution that contains 50 grams of salt. Okay, so we want to end up with 200 milliliters of the entire fluid. 50 grams of this is salt. We take the amount of the drug, which was 50 grams, over the amount of the solution, which was 200 milliliters. And then we do the division, and you reduce it and you get 1/4. 1/4 is 0.25. You multiply that by 100, you get 25. Remember that when you're doing strength, you can either have milliliters and milliliters, or you can have grams and milliliters. When you're talking about the strength, you don't include the units. They are implied. Okay, so now what we have to do is a little bit different. We're going to ask how many grams of a solute do you need to have in a given amount of solution of known strength? Okay, so how many grams of dextrose, so this is the drug that we don't know right here, would you need to prepare a 1,000 milliliter of a 5% solution? Okay, all right, the strength is 5%, which means 5 over 100. So this is 5 grams per 100 milliliters. Okay, so that's the strength. We want to convert 1,000 milliliters of solution to grams of dextrose. So this was our strength. And then just like when we were doing all the other conversions and everything, when you multiply, you want your units to cancel out. And you want what you want to end up with, grams, you want it in the top. So when I multiply here, the milliliters cancel as they should, and all I have left are grams. And then you have 100 over 10. They divided it by 100, or basically marked off 2 zeros, marked off 2 zeros. And then you end up with 10 times 5 grams over 1. You can think of that as over 1. So this is just simply 50 grams. Okay, this is a similar problem. How would you prepare 250 milliliters of a 0.5% creosol solution? Creosol comes in liquid form. That means this measurement is going to be in milliliters. Okay, the amount of solution is 250 milliliters. The strength is 0.5%, okay, which is the same as 0.5%. Okay, and all you would have to do to figure this out is 1 divided by 2. So just like with all of our percentages, we take the amount and put it over 100. It says it comes in a liquid form, so I'm not sure why they're doing grams here. Okay, they changed it to milliliters. Okay, no, they still have it as grams. I don't know. All right, Anyway, the math. We're going to convert this. We want to have 250 milliliters of the solution. And our strength is 0.5 over 100. We want to make sure that our milliliters cancel out. And notice they have solution and creosol written here. And that's important because if these are both in milliliters, as this really should be, it says it's in liquids, then you want to make sure that you're canceling out not just milliliters, but also the solution part of it. Okay? So what we do is you take 250 times 0.5, because I'm multiplying straight across. Let's do it this way. 250 times 0.5, which will give me 125 milliliters over 100. Do that division, divide by 100, and you get the 1.25 milliliters of creosol. It's diluted with water to 250 milliliters of solution. So what we've just found is how we would prepare this much fluid at this strength.